Hi, I'm Betty, Rapid Transformational Therapist and coach, and I just wanted to give you a quick overview of what Rapid Transformational Therapy is, how it works, and how it could work for you to make you happier, basically, and help you to remove those patterns of behaviour that are unhelpful and keeping you stuck. So rapid transformational therapy, RTT, is a type of hypnotherapy created or compiled by Marissa Peer. So it's hypnotherapy, and it takes you back to the root cause of the issue in a really relaxed state of hypnosis. You go back to the scenes from earlier life, usually childhood, in which certain beliefs were formed, and it's these beliefs that are keeping us stuck. So we got to go back and figure out where we got certain beliefs usually like I'm not good enough, or I'm different from other people, or that something is not available to me. So we go back to these scenes, we figure out what it was that happened. It might have been something traumatic, it could have been that you've been through a really traumatic experience when you were younger, or a series of them, or it might just be that you interpreted a situation in a childlike way, which didn't have that meaning that you interpreted it to have. So what I mean by that is, like somebody spoke to you crossly, or told you you were stupid, or you just maybe didn't have much money when you were younger, and so you looked around at more successful people. Maybe your parents were working jobs that didn't particularly fulfill them, and you maybe looked around and thought, well, money or success or whatever, like anything that wasn't familiar, you can just then decide or come to believe that those things aren't available for you. And that's what we do all the time. So RTT is really about going back to where these beliefs came from, figuring out, like, just understanding them, coming to understand that actually it didn't mean anything, coming to understand that those events happened and it wasn't anything to do with me. And often there's a kind of, oh, I see, I get it. You come to understand other people's parents, teachers, motivations or intentions. And, we always look at these things from the perspective of the child when we are the child, and that's completely normal, and any child would do that. But to come to see it through your adult eyes, and then unpick that conditioning and those beliefs that you developed as a result of those scenes. And there's a whole load of tools that I use in those RTT sessions, including something called upgrading the child, which is about inviting your childhood self to come and live in your home as an adult, and creating a space within that therapy session for you to give yourself the praise that you have been waiting your whole life to hear. And that's really powerful to do that, to start to just like realize, maybe I didn't feel lovable, maybe you've spent your whole life just waiting for someone to say, I love you, you're amazing, you're really special. And so in the therapy session, we create a space for you to parent yourself. And that's really a powerful thing. Almost every client finds that incredibly moving to do that, to imagine bringing the child version of themselves into their home, and to really, just give them a hug and say, I got you, you're safe here. So that's a powerful thing. And then we have the opportunity to dialogue with the adult, perhaps the adults who were around when you were a child, to talk to them and to create a dialogue and hear their reasons for doing what they did or not doing what they didn't do. So yeah, it's really interesting to see what comes up in that. And once we understand, you see, then we can really let go. Then we can free ourselves from these perpetual cycles that we get stuck in. Yeah. So what else is there? Let's see. So we've got upgrading the child. We've got dialoguing with the hurter. You know, when I say hurter, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily abusive in any way, but just that you felt hurt as a result of the interaction with them. So those are two really amazing tools. And another thing that I always do with clients is when I sit them down and I say, come on, tell me what you really want. Like, really, tell me what you want. What would your dream life look like if you could have everything you possibly wanted? If you had no fear, what would you ask for? If you knew that the universe would give you exactly what you wanted, but you just had to ask for it, what would you ask for? What would really light you up? What would make your life just incredible, amazing, best life ever? What is it that you want? And if I had a magic wand and I could grant that wish for you, but you had to really phrase it well, what would you ask for? So that's where we start. And then we figure out the block. What do you think is in the way? And then we go back to these scenes and then we reframe it. We come to understand it as an adult. And then I make every client the most amazing bespoke recording in which I create this self-hypnosis. So you would listen to that recording every day for 3 weeks after the session. And you see the way that works is it makes what you want familiar to you. So you're listening to it every day. You can fall asleep, you can listen to this when you're sleeping in bed, as you go to sleep at night, but it goes in, and suddenly you're telling yourself the things that you want and you're making them feel like they're available. You're familiarizing yourself with that. And one of the rules of the mind is that your mind will move you towards what is familiar. So if you spend every day around people who demonstrate the behavior that you're trying to stop, then that's not going to help you to stop that behavior. You need to surround yourself with people who are behaving in a way that you want to behave and make that behavior familiar. And when you do that, you automatically move towards that, because our mind moves us towards what's familiar. So I love making these recordings for clients because I see them and I say to them, what do you really, really want? And then I take that information and I make this most amazing recording, just showing them, just telling them every day, because they listen every day. These are the things you want, because we get so swept up in daily life that we forget to focus or tell ourselves or remind ourselves what we want. And I give them that praise in that recording that they really wanted to hear. They've spent their whole lives wanting to hear. And it's just the most powerful thing. It's such a simple thing, but it really is powerful to be told those things that you kind of almost don't dare tell yourself, because, we've got this culture of not speaking our wishes, like little children are told, keep your wish a secret because it won't come true. But that isn't the case at all. When you know what you want, you've got to put it everywhere, and suddenly it becomes familiar. And that then it's because of a thing called the reticular activating system. And this is the thing that, oh look, I've got a little kitten come to see you. So because of the reticular activating system, your mind picks out the things that are familiar to you. So when, you know, like, this is why when you have a baby or when you're pregnant, suddenly all you see everywhere are pregnant women or women with buggies or dads carrying babies, you know, like suddenly it's like, you know, that you just can't take in all of the information. We can't take in all of the information in the world because it's overwhelming. There would be too much of it. But you see, that's why we're filtering all the time. So when we see things in the environment that are familiar to us, we latch on to them and we just notice the things that we're familiar with. There's like a whole world of things out there that I've got no idea about, and I don't even notice them. They're just not, they're irrelevant to my life. So I just filter it out. And we're doing that all the time. So what we're doing here by making this recording is we're making your real wants and dreams, the things that you really want, we're making those so familiar to you. And then because of this reticular activating system, the part of the brain that just hones in on the things that are familiar, you will get what you want when you are telling yourself what that is every day. You will definitely get it. Come and try out Rapid Transformational Therapy. Honestly, it's really, really fascinating to go back to these scenes, to see why we have certain, I mean, if you're like me, I'm just endlessly fascinated by human behavior, by the beliefs that people hold about themselves and their place in the world. I mean, you know, it's all completely, how shall I say this? You can do whatever you want in life if you believe that you can do it. So change your beliefs and change your life. I would love to work with you and find out what it is that's blocking you or getting in your way, any beliefs, limiting beliefs that are holding you back. I'd love for us to dive into your story, your past, and figure out where they came from so that you can see that, so that you can really understand where they came from, because when you understand it, you can be completely free of it. You can let it go. And I see that happen all the time, almost without fail. Within a session of RTT, I can see the client let go of the behavior. Sometimes they feel it as a physical sensation in their body. Sometimes it is a physical symptom, like a flare-up of the skin or a tightness or a tension, and it can just disappear right there and then when we understand where it's come from. So it's endlessly fascinating, and I love my job. I feel so honored to work with all these incredible people. Every single client is amazing, and their stories are also unique. I'd love to do the same for you, to find out what's holding you back and get you living your dream life. I'd love to do that. So if you would like to know more about RTT or how it could work for you, please do book a call. Sending you so much love, and may all your hopes and dreams come true. Bye.